What's up, everybody? This is the Cripple King from the Overmind. You know, we're about to watch Spider-Man Far From Home. Just waiting on my boy Rob. Andre right now, right behind the camera. Say what's up, Andre.
What's up, Andre?
Yeah, you know what it is. So we're just waiting on Rob. Hey, Rob, where the fuck are you, man? Hey. All right. So we got the tickets for Spider-Man Homecoming. We're gonna do a giveaway later on. For anyone that's subscribing to the channel, please leave a comment section because you will be in the running to get a digital copy of Spider-Man Homecoming. A digital copy straight for you, alright? So make sure you stick to the end of this vlog and we'll make sure that we get you hooked up with the prize, okay folks? Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.
However, if Tony did that, then you would still lose Gamora, and that wouldn't explain why Nat wasn't there still.
Okay, here's one thing though. There's still an alternate timeline of Gamora being alive. Remember at the end of the I don't know why I'm going blank. Endgame.
Yeah.
You know, you see Star-Lord go on his little computer trying to search for Gamora. Now, do you think this Gamora is gonna have feelings for him again? He's gonna have to work hard for that, you know? He's gonna have to go for that green booty tang.
I mean, the way the logic works when it comes to the movies is basically like altering the past doesn't really change anything because it's not Back to the Future.
Just creates another point in time.
Yeah. So by that logic, they could actually go get Tony and Nat pre-snap, bring them to the present, and they'd be alive. But they did everything that they still did because that's what happened with Gamora. They just grabbed her and brought her to the present.
That's true.
But see, Gamora in that timeline that they went into Endgame with was Thanos' Gamora. She hadn't yet met Star-Lord. She hadn't met...
She's still cold.
She was still cool. The whole reason why is because Thanos sent her on that little mission, you know? She still had her intentions. She still had everything else to go with it. Because she still wanted to stop him in her own way. But she didn't fall for Star-Lord. She didn't really know Drax. Her and Nebula were still, bumping heads. Now, if she were to still exist in that timeline, that means Star-Lord and her would have to reconnect somehow. And that would be difficult because the only reason they connected in the first place was over Thanos.
Right.
So I don't know, it's going to be interesting. Now, what do you think about Chris Hemsworth signing on for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Honestly, I think that's a perfect group for him. He's kind of lost everything, like everyone in the Guardians. Yondu's gone. Star-Lord lost his buddy Yondu. Groot's gone. And I think Thor would be an awesome fit because, he lost everything and is kind of like an outcast and part of that, rebellious team now. And, banter between the two.
It was good.
Comedy.
It was good.
Comedy.
Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth were so... I don't know, they were so well together. I really wanted to see more of them. But, again, you said he lost everything. Now, leading with that, do you think Loki's alive? There was rumors that Loki was a clone that Thanos killed.
I think
There was rumors and speculation, and the Russo brothers didn't necessarily come out and say it, but with Loki getting his own show, it would kind of lead to the idea that he's alive, like I said, somewhere in the universe, because with the
Tesseract?
Tesseract?
With
Yeah,
the Tesseract, and with Tony doing his snap, that would have reversed everything Thanos did, meaning he never would have killed Loki, he never would have killed Gamora, he never would have, the Nova planet.
The snap didn't reverse anything. First off, when Tony snapped,
okay.
Yeah, when Tony snapped, he snapped Thanos away. But Hulk snapped. But when he talked to Hulk, he told the Hulk, make sure everything that currently is stays the same. You're just bringing the half of the population back. So that's what the Hulk did, because he didn't want to lose Morgan Stark or anything like that either.
Yeah.
So everything stayed the same, except that everybody that died by the snap came back from the snap. Specifically the snap.
Okay. So now, who do you think is going to take his spot? Do you think Pepper's going to hold up? I think she looked pretty badass in the Iron Woman uniform.
Yeah, the rescue? Yeah, you know.
I really think she looked badass. But then again, you have the prodigal daughter that was introduced. And who knows when they're going to introduce Iron Man again, how many movie years they're going to set, them up for.
I'm going to say something, and this is a long shot. I feel like Peter Parker is going to become the new, not Iron Man, but the Iron Man type for
I can
the
see
universe. I mean, he's a really smart guy. He's kind of taking over. You see all the suits. You see Happy with him.
You see Happy with him.
And he's becoming more into his own.
You see Happy with his aunt.
Yeah. Oh.
She can make him real happy.
Oh man. So shout out to Spidey's aunt. She's fun.
Like everybody, I was like, so did you guys prefer like old Aunt May or hot Aunt May? And every fucking person's like hot Aunt May.
What's funny is how old that Aunt May really is, because nobody knows. I didn't know this. It's Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Marissa Tomei.
I'm pretty sure she's like in her 50s by now.
Yeah. So I'm like, technically, she's still kind of.
It's that age mark.
It's the age mark. It's just Marissa Tomei took care of herself. She looks good. She wasn't Grandma Aunt May with Tobey Maguire, which. All due respect to Toby, he kind of laid the basis for the Spider-Man.
That was a little creepy, though. I mean, that guy is clearly 30-something years old playing a high school student. You see the stubble and everything. I'm like, I don't know about that.
It's kind of funny that with the Spider-Man, I think Tobey Maguire captured Spidey's very outcast being very well, but Andrew Garfield captured his nerdiness very well. And Andrew Garfield didn't really do the whole outcast thing like Tobey did. Tobey showed the side of Spider-Man that you do see in the comics, a depressed, struggling side, where Andrew Garfield didn't. And I have high hopes for Tom Holland because
he is the perfect Spider-Man to me.
Young, I just watched an interview with him and Jacksepticeye, where he barely hit 19 or something like that, 19 or 20. So it's perfect because this new one, Spider-Man: Far From Home, he's supposed to be coming out of high school. Yeah. And this is supposed to be his graduation, so he would be about the age that you would graduate high school. So, and the preview showed, along with that you were saying with the Iron Spider, they showed him with the Iron Spider outfit, with the uniform. So I can see him becoming the Iron Man-esque.
He felt like he was getting like his own little bat cave almost.
Yes. Yes, he did.
And I really dug that. So,
So the question is, will this movie beat Spider-Verse?
Oh, the animated one? Ooh, man.
Okay. Jeez, it's so hard because Miles Morales, who is the one in the Spider-Verse, that's Miles Morales. And if you played the game Marvel the Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, he was also introduced into that. And they tried to... have you ever played the Spider-Man games on PS4?
I didn't, but I'm more of like a reader, so I'll read the comics.
So, the Spider-Man game introduced a lot of things that they've seen in the movies. It had the Avengers Tower, and there was little cut scenes of him saying, "Oh, I wish Tony were here," or "I wonder if Thor ever had to deal with buggers in the city." So in the game though, as the people when they made the game, they wanted to base it off of the Avengers first Avengers or the second Avengers. I forget because they also introduced the Sanctum Sanctorum in the game. So I think
that would be around Avengers 2 though.
That would be around Avengers 2. So they wanted to base it off of that timeline, but they also introduced Miles Morales. And they introduced how he would eventually become Spider-Man by his dad dying and him meeting Peter Parker.
Well, good thing that I rewatched Homecoming, because if you look at the titles and the one what's his name, Donald Glover.
Yes.
He played. He makes a comment about his nephew and not wanting him wanting guns off the street and weapons that Falcon was bringing in
Yes.
off the street because he had a nephew. That character he was playing at, what was his name? Is the purple dude.
Prowler?
The Prowler. Donald Glover was playing the Prowler, and he made a little comment and said, you know, I don't like these weapons out in the streets. I have a little nephew. And the Prowler, if you remember watching the multiverse, is Miles Morales' uncle.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we're gonna get 2 Spiders or a Spider-Verse movie.
Now see,
That would be dope.
I just seen on Facebook with the Spider-Man. I just seen on Facebook. I don't know if it's real or not, because you have to shit on Facebook. Is people throw it out there just for likes and comments. It showed the Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man after this one, which was to set air date in 2021, 2 years from now, and it shows Spider-Man, and it shows our ever-loving Miles Morales with his Nikes next to him, and all you see is their feet. And it's titled Spider-Verse or something, Spider-Man Spider-Verse or something like that. And it gave me a little hope that somehow maybe in this movie we'll get an introduction into Miles Morales himself.
Yeah, and I also saw that I saw an interview that Tom Holland was actually meeting up with the past Spider-Man players.
Yes.
They took selfies together, and I was like, you know, and he was talking about it'd be great if all the Spideys could do, you know, a movie together, and you know, I think that'd be a sweet idea. To wrap this up. Is there anything you're looking forward into this movie? Is there something that you think is going to happen, going to be introduced? Do you think they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four? I mean, come on, give it to me. Give it to me already, Marvel.
See, oh my God, that's such a stretch with Fantastic Four, because as we were saying earlier, me and him had a conversation about this, we run into problems. Problem being is Chris Evans, Human Torch, also Captain America. It'd be very hard to introduce Chris Evans as a Human Torch when we all love him as Captain America.
And he's done with it.
And he's done with Captain America. So it's kind of hard to bring Chris Evans back as Human Torch and make it look like he has no knowledge of ever being Cap. And then you have the new
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan in the new Fantastic Four, who played Warmonger. So now it's really hard to introduce him as a hero when we already love him and he did a bang-ass job. I think he did a wonderful job for Warmonger. I think he did superb.
That was a good little challenge, though.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good. He even said it was a really good challenge. So the Fantastic Four is kind of a stretch. I'm hoping for at least a taste of Phase 4. Because Phase 4, we are completely left in the dark. For any fans, I mean, even people who read the comics, we're stuck. I don't know what the villain is next. Fingers crossed it's Galactus, because Galactus, they would have to introduce the Fantastic Four. They would also have to introduce X-Men. Because there was, God, what was the early 80s cartoon showed Galactus as an X-Men villain. So, I'm hoping to catch a preview of the next villain.
Epic villain.
Yeah.
Similar to Thanos.
How they did Thanos early on in like Phase 2 when they started to show his face, like the side capture of it, and you get the little,
Little sneak peeks.
Yes, and I'm hoping we get that. That's what my biggest thing is.
My biggest thing is we get all those answers. I'm not going to repeat the same thing you said because like we said, we talked about that earlier. And you know what, folks? It's about to be showtime. We're about to go see Spider-Man Far From Home. Keep an eye onto this channel because we're going to be doing, probably at the end of the week that we upload this, we're going to announce a special prize of Spider-Man Homecoming. Someone's going to win a digital copy of that. And if you subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, you're gonna be in the entry of winning that prize. So with that,
Now, rules are, because we do this a lot, rules are 1 comment per person. Don't spam. First 100 comments, first 100 subs enters in the chance of comment quick, like quick, subscribe quick. And the edition that we're giving away is 4K, right?
it's a digital copy, so they'll be able to watch it from all of their tablet, their phone, whatever.
Okay, so there you go.
So with that said, Let's go watch this movie. I'm pumped.
I'm excited.
The Overmind. We are the Overmind.
Welcome.
You are part of my mind.
All right.
Just let me know where to go. Spoiler alert! Narwhal, Cripple, and we just got out from seeing Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh my.
Wonderful. Tom Holland's performance yet again blows me away. Kick-ass, and Zendaya was top-notch. I love the chemistry between them.
Oh man. Peter.
Cringy.
Mary Jane.
Cringe warning though. Very, very cringy.
The whole time I was like,
like,
come on.
like they're both trying. They're both trying, and they both don't want to. So it's very cringy. So we hop on to the meat and potatoes of this movie. Mysterio.
Mysterio's a crazy dude. Master of illusions.
Yes.
Pulled off some crazy illusions in this movie. The special effects, I was like blown out of my mind. All the elementalists, the fire, the growth, and just
Everything about it. I mean, even when they said the elementalists, my mind immediately was like, okay, cool. Next villains, right? Next villains. And then Mysterio pulls his stuff, and I'm like, oh damn, there goes my idea of like, who is gonna be taking over. And by the way, I love Tony Stark's jabs. Still even dead.
still even dead. Still the hero.
Even dead, I'm the hero.
Even dead, I'm the hero.
Even dead, I'm the hero. Love Tony to death.
His presence is in this movie
Entirely.
even though he's not there.
From beginning to end.
From the Jets
Yes.
to Happy to
Him in the jet doing his thing. It was very reminiscent of Iron Man 1 when he's downstairs after he comes home from the desert, working, building his suit. It kind of brought a tear to my eye because I was like, damn,
saw a big resemblance in Tony and Peter.
huge resemblance. The way they work, the way they act, the way they talk. Huge resemblance in the whole thing.
And that was kind of my little prediction too, like where Peter would take on this more of an Iron Man-ish role. Tony Stark's presence.
Yes, Tony Stark's presence all through this movie.
Really saw him in there from Peter being in his Iron Man zone where he's building his own suit, picking the parts that work.
And the parts that don't, and calibrating everything. The way he worked was very, very Tony Stark-esque. Even on that note, you really feel Peter coming into his own in this one.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, I believe Tom Holland didn't really capture the emotional instability that Spider-Man goes through. This movie made me wrong.
Yeah.
Tom Holland probably projects that emotional instability that he goes through and the emotions that he's feeling right now. Because in this movie, Peter Parker, everybody wants Peter to be the new Iron Man. Everybody's looking at him to be the new Iron Man.
And he really hasn't found himself yet until
He hasn't.
he goes through the struggles of fighting Mysterio.
Yeah.
And just trying to find even what's real and what's not.
And that's the key part that I like to put into. By the way, Marvel, kudos once again for showing previews that are not in the movies. The one scene in the movie that's not in the movie is the one where the cop asks him, "Hey, are you the Iron Man?" And he goes, "Well, not really, but I don't want to be doing your job," or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Not in the movie at all.
Yeah.
So kudos again to
Not letting us see the entire movie. Like
not
they
letting us see the
usually
entire movie, doing that.
Just through trailers and all that.
Yeah, all the trailers and stuff that you see, none of them are in the movie.
So what would you say is your favorite part of the movie?
Oh my god.
I personally loved the initial battle between Spidey and Mysterio, you see all of the magic tricks, all of the CGI, all of the trickery with the drones and the illusions.
Are you
and
talking about like
when it snaps from his head and they go into the
Mysterio and Spider-Man fought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
the
when
first-
they fought together. Okay.
The first fight.
The first, like, when they're really going at each other, you know.
You really see the full strength of Mysterio and what he can do.
He was not playing around, and
He
he
was
was
not.
playing Peter like a fiddle, man.
Yes, he was heavily.
Did you
heavily.
was there something about that particular fight that stood out to you the most? Me personally, it's when it said spoiler alert, but when he had Tony Stark's grave in front of him.
That was a punch in the nuts.
Yeah.
Like, how could you not feel
Yeah.
And he had,
that
like,
anger? And I was,
that-
I was
that
like,
one-
And then Marvel Zombie Tony, Iron Man come out
that's
of the
the
grave.
other thing. The whole
Marvel fucking
the
zombie.
shout out to the Marvel zombies and turning him into a zombie and coming
Yeah.
out from the grave and all that scary shit.
That shit I was not expecting. I was like,
Man,
this,
that was some real fan service.
I was like, I think I came in the movie like, okay, is this gonna beat Spider-Verse? I don't think it beat Spider-Verse, but it
No.
definitely beat Spider-Man 2, because Spider-Man 2 was like my number one. You know, Spider-Verse became my number one, but Spider-Man 2 was my number one live action. But this is hands down the best live action. This contends with Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
Boy.
this highly contends.
Are we ranking Spider-Man movies here?
If you want to.
Honestly, no disrespect to Andrew Garfield.
Not a big fan of those.
Not a big fan of the Amazing
The
Spider-Man.
whole blue.
Not a big fan of the Amazing
Electro.
Spider-Man.
No disrespect to Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, you know,
Jamie Foxx, hell of an actor, but
Yeah.
I really don't think he was made to play Electro. Electro,
stick to singing, bro.
yeah.
singing.
I mean, you're a good actor in a lot of movies, but Electro was never made to be that.
He was the original Blue Genie, bro. That
Yeah.
Will Smith did. I was like, he
There you
was
go.
the original one. I'm like, I can't.
And that's
do
what it was.
What the Amazing Spider-Man movies I think had was the spider sense. Like when you saw those scenes, it was like, okay, cool. It looks really
Yeah.
cool.
What they call it? in
But that's
this
it.
movie? The
Peter Tingle?
The Peter Tingle.
Yeah, the Peter
I
Tingle.
love it. I love it. They're poking fun at they're poking fun at
rebranding
him.
it. And
Yeah.
it's just- what a.
Peter Tingle sounds like something you would say to a little kid that has to go to the bathroom.
And it would be something that, like, I think is more something that Peter would come up with, like, or people that were telling him, you know. It's the
He was getting mad at it too.
Yeah,
he
he's
hated
like-
it. He did not like it. So, no disrespect to Andrew Garfield. Amazing Spider-Man movies, I mean, they're decent, but when you compare it to Tobey Maguire, you do not match. Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, yeah, no.
No, that one just.
I did not like the whole Venom idea and the way you built them up. I didn't like the Sandman idea and you built them up.
Well, the original Elemental, Sandman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I thought was who we were going to be introduced to in this movie. When I told you in the theater, I was like, is that Sandman? You know, I'm thinking, but
But I
again,
think this was better.
Yeah.
Because it played
It
more
was.
to the story and added more to who Mysterio was at the end.
yeah, I did,
I
heavily.
mean, solutions. Why not make something like that? You know, and all the different elements. And I am in shock of how beautiful everything looked. From the growth of that fire guy, each time he started getting a hold of metal and just got bigger and bigger and was on some Godzilla shit.
I love it.
I was like,
I,
and then you have what's his name, the black spider monkey,
Yeah.
going in there, coming in for action. So
Night Monkey.
Night Monkey,
The Night Monkey.
what's not to love about that? I mean,
The suits that I was explaining to you is the ones that they're showing are in the Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, the suits came out today, I think.
Huh?
Those suits came out today, I think.
That one is, if you play Spider-Man, the one,
Yes.
it's a DLC suit. It's
Yeah.
called the Black Noir,
Okay.
almost.
No, the suit Spider-Man wears at the very end.
Yeah,
That one got added today.
that one got added today.
Yeah.
The one in the middle of it was called the Black Noir, I believe, and it is from
Yeah.
the Spider-Man game. Or I forget what it's called. It's in the game though. Which
It's
that's
in,
not funny they brought
it's
it
in Spider-Verse, the Nick Cage Spider-Man.
yeah, the Nick
Yeah.
Cage.
Yeah.
So now comes the point that we were talking about.
What's next?
The Secret Invasion.
What's next? You ended it on our surprise. You think it's Nick Fury and
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Well, we announced that in the beginning.
God damn it to hell! Nick Fury wasn't even here the whole time, and it happened to be. I didn't watch Captain Marvel simply based on the fact that Brie Larson. Okay, let me just say, Brie, your whole audience that pays you your checks and everything, this is what we are. We're males, the ones that you make fun of, and the ones that you talk trash about. We're the ones that spend the millions and millions of dollars that goes to see your movies. So it's best wise that you kind of realize and respect your audience and the culture that we bring, you know. Because even after you said all that, we still supported your movie, and your movie did really well. But I didn't see it based on the fact that you want to trash us. So,
You know, she can trash me all day. I still watched it. I wasn't one of my favorite Marvel movies.
I heard.
On the totem pole.
It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming. It was
just in the middle.
It existed.
It was
Yeah.
like
it's like if you took all the Marvel
rare.
films. Yeah, if you took all the Marvel films and you lined them all up.
Can we get him for an interview? The guy wearing the Spider-Man outfit?
But I feel like hers is like in the dead center.
He was wearing a legit Spider-Man outfit.
If you want to go in a room, I'll follow you.
Can we?
I don't care.
I mean, that's pretty cool to get on the chest. Somebody dressed up as Spider-Man.
Cripple Rider. If you want to promote Cripple Rider right now, go for it.
Okay, Cripple Rider, new music coming soon. Or you know.
Can't run like that no more.
Yeah, you're dead now.
I know.
Yeah, you're tired.
Getting too old for this.
What's up, buddy?
Hello. How you doing, man?
All right.
So we got someone here that actually dressed up as Spider-Man for the movie.
I caught him out the corner of my eye, and I
I'm
was like,
assuming you saw the movie, right?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you thought about it?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was way better than the first one.
Yeah. Was there any part of the movie that you think stood out, or like you were just like, what the fudge just happened?
It was mostly towards the end, or like in the middle.
You can say anything you want. We announced to the camera that there's spoilers.
Oh,
spoilers.
okay.
So whatever you want to talk
Whatever you
about.
wanna say.
What do you
guys.
want to say, man?
So just the illusions that Mysterio had,
Yeah.
just was amazing. Like it was just too. I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it
It
was.
was so much going on. You have that giant fire-breathing monster that just kept getting bigger and bigger each time it got touched metal. I mean, that's crazy. This
This is why I tracked him down.
Yeah, this is why we got him
This
here.
is why. I mean,
Yeah, it's legit.
how old are you, by the way?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Respect. Respect.
man.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Again, our culture right here, living in Brittany. How does your girlfriend?
Yeah, this is my girlfriend.
Do you support?
Yeah, 100%.
That's right. Kick ass. I love it. I love it. Like
So
that.
what do you think is next for Peter Parker? Where do you think
what-
this leaves?
Yeah, what'd you think of the ending? The
Yeah,
end.
'cause that was
Just seeing Jonah Jameson, all I know is I'm not a menace. That's it. But from future movies with Spider-Man, I think he's still gonna try to find a way to say that Peter Parker is not Spider-Man. But I'm not sure how they're gonna
around
twist it
that.
in.
twist it. Yeah.
That leaves a very good point. So, main question: who do you think is the next villain to appear in the movies?
For Spider-Man or as
For-
in Avengers?
Okay, how many Avengers movies have you seen?
All.
Bitchin', we're good. Okay, for both then.
For Avengers, I'm hoping it's Galactus.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
hoping the next big villain
That's
is
right.
Galactus.
Fantastic
Galactus.
Four and X-Men, they're all gonna combine together with Avengers, so they might as well just get Galactus to
Hey,
come in.
they already kind of set up like a little secret invasion
Exactly.
thing going on with
So-
the ending.
I personally think it's King the Conqueror. I think they're gonna go with
He
him.
was telling me that earlier
I
this week.
was telling him, as much as I would like Galactus to be the next Thanos, I think they'll have to build to that. And King the Conqueror is, I think, one of the first steps to get there.
For those who don't know, Galactus is also known as the World Eater. He literally devours worlds. If you've ever seen Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, the the monster that was coming in that they tried to form around was supposed to be Galactus.
Yeah, Jank Galactus.
Yeah, that was supposed to
think
be
of
a
that
janky
portrayal of him?
Galactus.
Jank Galactus.
Yeah.
Of that janky Galactus, what'd you think of that portrayal?
I didn't see the original Fantastic
Okay.
Four.
You never
I
did?
didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
No, I'm there with you, man.
I'm totally there with you. I think pre-2008 with Marvel Studios, a lot of those movies were very poorly portrayed. They were just put out for money. And like I said, that janky Galactus, I wanted more. And Galactus is a very... I was watching a thing that they were talking about power levels of a scale of 10 to 1, 10 being the worst, 1 being the most powerful. And they had Thanos at like 3.5, which is insanely powerful when you think of all the Marvel villains. And they had Galactus at a 1. If that gives the viewers any idea how strong Galactus really is. Like, Galactus is a beast. He can not only turn his form into a world-eating soul, he can also turn into a humanoid life form as well, and he towers above anybody else.
So, with that said, what would you say you'd give the movie overall? Like a 1 through 10?
I'd give it a 9.
You give it a 9?
Solid.
And those, your reasoning for that?
Mostly because of the ending was kind of slow. Like, I wish they had kind of added more into what they're going to lead into next.
Okay, alright. What about you, Rob?
Oh my god, that movie was good. Like he said, I hate to piggyback off people, but he's got a point. They left us in the dark, which is something Marvel usually doesn't do. I mean, they gave us a sneak peek of, you know, a possible secret invasion, but overall, I give it an 8, a 9, solid up there. It was
All right.
a wonderful movie, great chemistry between Zendaya and Tom Holland. I think the cast together is really well. I love JB Smoove. I think he's a hilarious comedian, and him in the movie, I did not do this. It's got to make me laugh the whole time.
And for me, I would have to give the movie a solid 9. Main reasons, Peter Parker just really grew into his own.
Yep.
He gave a very Tony Starkish vibe. This movie really, you felt the death of Tony Stark throughout it. I love the soundtrack, still AC/DC, but Peter Parker got his own little thing with the Ramones going on. You know, I've been noticing that. I'm a big fan of soundtracks and all that. With that said, thank you everyone for tuning in. Like I said, if you become a subscriber to our channel and leave a comment, you will get a chance to win a digital copy of Spider-Man Homecoming. So, with that said, thank you. And please
Thank you
like,
again.
comment, and subscribe.
Thank you again.
And
You
thank
guys
for
have a
coming
wonderful
in.
night.
You guys
Thank
have
you
a
for your
wonderful
time.
night. And hope
If you want to enter in the drawing, both of you, go to our Facebook page. What is it?
It's called the Overmind Media. At
Overmind
it's
Media.
on Facebook.
Okay.
We just started it. This is our first episode, so we're just kind of trying to get
into
going.
it. But so you're our first official guest. So
All right.
awesome.
All right, thank you
But
guys.
go like it on Facebook, comment, subscribe, and you guys.
Yeah, and
First
we're gonna
100 will be
uploading
entered
this
to win a
pretty soon, too.
4K digital copy of Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank
Take
you
care,
guys.
buddy.
Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Thanks.
Okay, so this wraps it up.
Hey.
I'm leaving.
Yep.
We are the Overmind, and I'm in your mind.
Peace.